What's up everybody, Jolt here from TheTokenMinorities, and today I'm bringing you something that I haven't brought to you in a really long time, and that is a clan war video. If you recall back to, I don't know, 6 months ago, I posted a video that showed my clan, F.E.A.R, against a clan called Alpha Society. Now that was a war for NintendoPlus.com, and quite frankly was against an okay opponent, not really an amazing opponent, but this time around we have a war against potentially the best Pokemon clan there is right now. So we have our hands full. It's gonna be fun. The name of the clan we are facing is Caps, or I believe it's called the Capitalists. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be difficult. It's gonna be long. In our previous war, it was 5 OU matches. In this war, this actually spans over several different tiers. In this war, we have 7 OU matches, 2 Ubers matches, 1 NU match, 2 UU matches, and 1 Little Cut match in a best of 13 series. So the first team to 7 wins wins the war. It's going to be a lot. This is going to be a long video, but we're going to try to keep it interesting for you guys because I'm going to be bringing in several of the competitors from this war, and we're going to be doing co-narrations throughout it. Hopefully you get to hear several new voices throughout this that you haven't heard yet on this channel. So let's go ahead and jump in. Our first battle will be with my friend Joseph, or Uncensored, or OML It's Too Easy, whatever you know him by. He's going to be first up, and I'll be right back. Alright, so here we are with Game 1 of the war between F.E.A.R and Caps, featuring Joseph against Matty Brawlick, a very good player, and Joseph is actually joining me in call right now, so go ahead and take it away. Styx is here as well, but who cares about him? Right. Take it away, Joseph.
Hi. Alright, so team preview. I basically lost because I have nothing for Suicune, and Scissor puts in work, and I only have Talonflame. And Talonflame's pressured a lot.
So, may I interject really quickly?
Maybe.
Who brings regular Kyurem to an OU battle?
Regular Kyurem better than Kyurem.
But Kyurem and regular Kyurem are the same thing, just saying. Why would you not bring Kyurem B? Why?
Kyurem's more, it has more special attack, so I could Suko up.
So if you had Kyurem B, you know you had an answer to
Iron Head on... Run Iron Head on Kyurem B.
Anyway, should we go ahead and jump in?
There. No, Power Herb Freeze Shock. There you go.
Alright, I'm gonna jump in, Joseph. Take over.
Alright, so basically, I'll lead with my Kyurem, predicting his Hippo, but he predicts that. So I'm forced to have some Talonflame here, as he U-turns, right? Yeah, he gets the momentum. And,
should have run Flame
you
Body
Kyurem B with
Talonflame.
Kyurem B
so right here,
Fire, it wouldn't have been a problem.
So right here, I try to be real, because no one's real in this clan, so I try to be real myself, but I just get bodied for that.
You're just not cut
And
out
basically I lose now, because I have nothing for Scissor. So now I just have to hope that I burn, like I hacks my way through.
And this concludes the narration.
Looks like I go for Ice Beam, hoping for like freeze or like good damage, but he's been deaf. So I'm forced out. I sent out my key player, so you get up some hazards, but he U-turns, predicting that. And he goes Hippo. Now, nice spikes here with Magnet Rise.
Probably Magnet Rise.
Yeah.
You know what
Okay,
would have been
Magnet
nice
Rise
for that
here.
Scissor? Your Talonflame.
Alright, Spike's here, trying to whittle down his team, but then he reviews the taunt, so I'm forced out. I predict the Will-O-Wisp.
That's what you play rough, dude.
I predict the Will-O-Wisp, and now I predict the knockout, so I double back out into Little Bunny. And
Dude, this
yeah,
is where you
so
run
right here I
sub,
get a
power up, punch Lopunny.
free
You
fake
would've
out
won.
and a free Mega. Bruh, I wish I had an Encore.
Yeah, Encore into Will-O-Wisp on your Lop. Great.
And then he predicts me here.
Oh right, went for knockoff, I'm dumb. Man,
And,
you're getting played. You know what would have kept you from getting played? If you had Kyurem B.
Yeah.
Or Talonflame.
Yeah, Talonflame works too. Or even better, SD Arceus.
Alright, now you guys are cleft,
Extreme killer.
but I have nothing for a clap, so I have to hope for hacks again.
Do you have anything for anything?
I had a talent flame.
Wait, wasn't this supposed to be a good team?
Remake. It was a remake of my old team, but
And you tested it out for the war? Thanks, man.
Joseph, I thought you made good teams.
I do, Brad. No, I don't. But
Where they at though?
This is a slaughter. I'm gonna speed this up.
alright, sorry.
I'll be honest. I'm just here for this narration so I don't get fined.
Bop.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
Bob, gone, just dead. Okay, why do you run Ice Beam on Clef? Like
Or
what?
quick score, SD
Glass score? Okay. Okay, that makes sense. I was about to say, I know that Jolt ran Focus Blast on his for trans, but...
yeah. So
Oh yeah,
I
all
was
that
looking-
damage, gone. Oh yeah, get a crit here, crit right here. You realize that high jump kick did more to Hippo than Ice Punch, right?
I was hoping for a freeze, because either way it doesn't KO.
Yeah, but you should have been real. Should have known that he was going to EQ.
At least he saved the 6-0.
Hey.
You know what would have been nice right here? F.E.A.R. Kieran B.
I have it, I
With
just didn't
iPad.
look for it. Alright, no, I'm just hoping for some para hacks. Bro, I wish he was SD. Why isn't he
Bro,
SD?
you know what you should have ran? Special lop.
Special lop.
What did I run?
Boom
Hypervoice?
burst.
Oh,
No, you gotta go boom burst. Because it definitely can learn. Don't look it up. Just trust me, it learns it. Man, who runs foul play on Clef? You gotta run play rough and Ironhead. And then SD. No, Swagger, Psych Up, Play Rough, and
Brilliant.
Ironhead. There, innovation. You're welcome, all people that are watching this
That's
video.
a Verlicify set, man.
Nah, that's
better.
beyond
That's better than a
Verlicify.
Verlicify set. What
Yeah. Okay, so who played Emerald?
everyone?
me.
Do you remember in like the Battle Factory or whatever it was where you could do doubles and there would be these Swagger Psych Up sets?
Oh my gosh.
I would run those with like own tempo Lickitung or own tempo physical like Slow King or something like that. And then I would just win. Just win.
What is
Para,
that?
please.
This
Yes!
is a slaughter. This is a slaughter.
Why'd you go for sub?
Because he's real.
Alright, well that's the game. That was disgusting, Joseph, I'm not gonna lie. Not really so much your fault, but yeah. So let's go ahead and move on to the next game. Alright, so next up we have an Ubers match between Palmman and Dilwar. And this is looking to be a pretty good game for us, as Palmman is probably our most experienced player tournament-wise, so we're expecting big things out of him. But let's go ahead and jump into that game. Alright, so here we are with Game 2. After an unfortunate setback in Game 1, we're looking to tie the war up at 1-1 if Palmman can pull out the win here against Dilwar. Palmman is on the opposing side and Dilwar is on the near side. I know literally nothing about Ubers, so I'm going to let Joseph take the lead on this one, so go ahead.
Alright, Dilwar, I hate you because you hacked me, but I just get into it. Like, I don't want to explain team
Just wanna get
preview.
into it.
I'll take
Alright, let's go.
Alright, so he leads off with Sableye, which probably has Fake Out, because most of them run Fake Out. And Dialga here to get a Brox, and Belders to prevent rocks. So Dialga could put in a lot of work. Considering that his team, there's not really a lot of Dialga switch-ins. And yeah, he go versus for Brace, but I think he was predicting like Kyogre. And right now, he just stays in and goes for another Thunder. Or Draco. No, he goes for his Rocks.
Makes a nice prediction, goes for rocks, nice.
Alright, so Arceus comes out. I don't know why this is a switch in. Oh, it's Bedef. I mean, there's been events, so Toxic here, a little down the team. I don't know why he didn't send out Sableye. But yeah, use a shaman to predict the defog, I guess. And now you can just fire off a C-flare, which does a lot to everything besides the ho-oh. So that's why you send out ho-oh. And now you can flinch it to death or switch out. I would have flinched it, but that's just me. Yo, get played.
Nice. So down goes the ho-oh to that, which is really nice, I'm sure, as ho-oh is a pretty good stop to a lot of Palm Man's Mont, it looks like. But, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, okay, so you're probably going out to his fire type. Yeah. That's a good foul play. And Dilwar, I don't really see a win con now. Maybe Lugia. But like you can just hack that to death with Shaman.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely a team matchup in Palm Man's favor, I would say. I don't know, like I said, I don't know much about Ubers, but maybe a Calm Mind Sableye could do some work, but I don't know if Calm Mind Sableye is a thing in Ubers.
Sableye is just there to stop rocks for like the birds.
Okay.
I think this is the RMT, is it? I don't know. But yeah, he gets F.E.A.R. That's great. And I think he's gonna roost there. No, yeah, he's being tries to KO the Dialga. Does that even? I mean, he lives Clef a hole, but Clef's probably unaware. Yo, do we 6 over here? Okay. And if this thing rock polish is here, it'll be a big threat. So he just decides to sack Dialga.
Yeah, that's a good play too, for sure.
Yeah.
No, I think it was a horrible play.
Oh, welcome back, Styx.
Alright.
Lo siento. No, it doesn't.
It does, bruh.
See, there's an Arceus
Oh, he's
Ice
waterfall.
out.
Palm reveals that he's a physical primal. Wow, Kyogre. Can't think of the name.
Primal Grotto.
Okay.
I'm assuming that's pretty uncommon.
Yo, he's got 3 megas on his team.
Gosh, what a hacks.
And Dilwar just scoops there, knowing that he can't really break anything Palm has left. So,
Well, of course you can't
Jolt.
beat 3 megas.
What's
like,
9 plus 10?
was what?
What's 9 plus 10?
What's 9 plus 10? 19.
No, you lost your war. You're wrong.
All right, so that concludes game 2. We're now tied up at 1-1 due to a big-time win by Palm. And next up, we'll have another Ubers match featuring Trev the King against Rriv. So let's go ahead and jump into that one. Alright, so here we are with the third match, and they're actually both here in the call with me today, so go ahead and introduce yourselves and take over.
Alright, well, I am P.O. Rriv. Hopefully he'll put my Facebook and no, not my Facebook, I don't want FERS looking at me now. My YouTube in the description. I am the leader of the clan that faced Trev. I'm not going to talk any smack right now. I'll talk smack later after the call. But I hope you guys enjoy this replay. Go ahead, Trev.
Hey guys, it's Trev here, and yeah, we've got this battle for clans, and it's going to be F.E.A.R versus Caps. So yeah.
Yeah, and I'll leave the link to both of their channels in the description, so don't worry about that. But yeah, go ahead and jump in, talk about team preview a little bit.
Alright, well, I guess I'll go first. Team preview, I did not like, I saw Laddie. I was like, well, there goes my Groudon sweep, and also saw Groudon and Landorus T, and I was like, there goes my Groudon sweep again, and I like to sweep a Groudon, so I was disappointed by that, but then I realized he had like literally nothing for Darkrai, but I like kind of choked it away with Darkrai, so I pretty much just had the game plan of leading with either Smirk or, I think I led with Doxus, because that's usually what everybody leads with this kind of sticky web team, so anyway, Toji, you give me what you want in team preview.
So, from what I see, I saw a Smeargle, and I cried to myself a little bit. I hate Smeargle so much because it just gets up that one hazard, and it just kind of hurts my team. It doesn't really hurt Sticky Web-wise, but Stealth Rock-wise, it's going to force me to go for Defog on Latias, because I don't want to be taken about 17% with Ho-Ho because of Regenerator from Rocks. Or no, about 17%, and I don't want to be taking 25% from Lando T. I'm hoping to get up some sort of hazard with either Lando or Ferrothorn to hopefully break possible sash on Darkrai, and if he wants to say Smeargle, hopefully a possible sash on Smeargle. So that was my team preview point.
Alright, so should I go ahead and jump in?
Sure.
Alright, and just to make it clear, Rriv's team is on the near side and Trev's team is on the far side in this game. So here we go. It's going to be on normal speed, so tell me if you want me to slow it down.
Alright, so lead with Deoxys here. Set up my rocks, basic. Praying for no burn, just for the
I'm
LOLs.
praying for burn.
And he does get the burn, so he's lucky and bad. And
Come
now
on.
I proceed to my Groudon knowing that it's pretty much kind of pointless to go to Smeargle because you have Defog for the Sticky Web. And I realize I need to... I doubled a Darkrai knowing that I was thinking you would go to Latios, and I predicted that right. But then I choked it away by not going for Dark Void for some reason, thinking that Dark Pulse would kill. And so he hits me with a Draco, and so I'm thinking that, oh crap, well... I'm thinking, well, at least the best case scenario, I can just go into my Arceus here and get an SD up and pressure his team. And he goes to the Landers here, and so Palmman was telling me that this could be superpower, because that's what they usually run for East killers, but I was hoping he weren't, because I was thinking if he is, I have no chance then. Luckily, he goes for Toxic here as I go for another SD, so I'm thinking he's either going to go to Ferrothorn on the Stone Edge, or he's going to stay in. Luckily for me, he stays in, takes a killer amount from Stone Edge. And so he goes for E-Quake here, and I decide there's no reason to protect the Ferrothorn. I can just go for E-Speed here and bop both of them at the same time, because I know Ferrothorn's not going to enjoy that much from let's see, E-Speed, and it takes 55%. And so at this moment of time, wait, can you pause for a second?
Yeah.
So at this moment of time, I realize that now with the damage Ferrothorn's taken and with the damage that Landers has taken, that he's allowed them to take, it all depended really on what the Arceus was, but my my Mewtwo was gonna win this game for me. So simply because of that fact, I pretty much was focused on keeping that, making sure I put that in a great position. I believe I go into, after this Arceus dies, I believe I go into it now knowing that I have nothing to lose, so you can continue now. You know what? I've talked so much. Let Trev get into this. I've talked too
So
much.
right here, this team does not like me2. That's one bad thing. I love this team that I'm using. It's got a lot of cool things like Banded Ho and SD, Arceus Ground, but one thing that does give me trouble is Mewtwo, and especially a Mewtwo X. And now that I've allowed basically my only way of getting up hazards to both of them to get weakened to where they're both going to get one hit KO'd by this Mewtwo, I'm going to be in for a long ride. So yeah, just hit resume.
Alright.
So yeah, that crit didn't matter at all. Ferrothorn just gets obliterated. Atoms. And I go into Arceus Ground here. I can't remember what I do. I think I just go for Earthquake for damage. I pray and hope that this E-Speed will either get a crit, maybe a high roll, something. Unfortunately, no. Good luck for me.
I'm praying it's not, because I'm like, this is kill or not, and I just went for it, and luckily it did not, so.
Yeah, I just sack off Lander's T just to get the Intimidate off. And here I go into Salamence knowing that I can take an Ice Punch, barely, but I can. He makes a good play and goes to Miracle, and here is where, if Salamence could learn Dual Chop, I would run Dual Chop Salamence from now on. But unfortunately it does not learn Dual Chop, so I just get to get nuzzled, and yeah, that sucks. And he taunts me, so
I think that's the first time I've ever seen Nuzzle used in a competitive game. Just saying. Not bad.
Yeah, I bop. And he goes for double taunt here, making a very, very nice prediction. Hats off to him. I just kill him off with Side Shock. And rocks are pretty much going to mean that Ho-Ho is going to be not really low, but pretty low, to the point where, I mean, I think he has Stone Edge anyway. Yeah, he has Stone Edge anyway, but he's still hurt, and rocks are pretty much going to guarantee that Ice Punch would kill it. It probably would have killed it anyway, but guarantee. And yeah, that's the game.
Yep, so after that game, F.E.A.R is at a 1-2 deficit, And yeah, we obviously have our hands full in this match, but next up we'll have our game with Styx of the Token Minorities in Little Cups, so let's go ahead and jump over to that. Alright, so here we are with the Little Cup match featuring our own Styx from the Token Minorities, and he will be against Austin Van Epps. So Styx is here on call. He can go ahead and take over from here.
Hi, I'm Styx. I like long walks on the beach. I enjoy cuddling up by a campfire and watching Netflix. I know those two make no sense, but just go with me. But yeah, anyway, we have our Little Cup match against Austin Van Epps, I believe his name was, or Anon is bad. And going into this match, I was actually really worried because our good old buddy Joseph was all too quick to inform me that my opponent has 8 alts in the top 50 of Little Cup. So I decided that I needed to bring my best team, which was, oddly enough, my XY team that has literally not changed at all. But looking at his team, it's going to be, looks like it could be a pretty rough match with that Sand and the Snivy, and basically he just has a bunch of threats that I have to take care of, in addition to the fact that I will not be able to get rid of his rocks, which he will be able to get up easily. And yeah, I am noticing that Abra and Fletchling can have fun with his team if I knock off certain items, which should be pretty easy with Mienfu and Pawnyard. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump right into the battle.
Will do.
He leads off with his Hippopotamus. I lead off with my Mienfu. I really had no better lead to go for. And I'm just going to go for a fake out right here. It's free damage. Nothing really wants to switch in. Fletchling could switch in, but I mean, that's just kind of a dumb move if he decides to go for it. I think he's just going to get up rocks because I can't 2-hit KO. In fact, I can barely 3-hit KO after I knock his Eviolite off, which is what I proceed to do right here, as he will just get those free rocks up. And this turn, I'm going to double knock off because I'm predicting that something else will want to come in. Not sure what, but considering Hippopotamus can't really do much to me, I go for it. He stays in, slacks off, gets to 100%, but the damage is done. I did get his Eviolite knocked off, which will be huge for my team later. As Mienfu's getting whittled down a little bit, I'm just going to go for a Drain Punch, as really lost nothing by it. Get back to 100%. Does a surprising chunk to Hippopotamus as he roars, and luckily for me, I get roared into my Abra, which is awesome for me because now something on his team dies, as my Focus Sash will be able to allow me to take on the Pawnyard and KO it as he goes into his Fletching right here on the predicted Energy Ball. Good play on his part. I mean, I really had no reason to over-predict that much early in the battle, as Sandstorm does run out, so Fletchling does get a little bit of a more health than it would if Sandstorm was up, obviously. I go into my Chincho, predicting the acrobatics as he goes for Swords Dance, and this is scary because my Chincho is Scarf, so it can't really take acrobatics that well. I just decided to go for the Hydro Pump, not messing around, not playing games, as he goes for, I don't know what, and Jolt, if you could pause here really quick so I could describe. So, talking to Austin after the battle, it turned out that his Fletchling had natural gift, I believe it was Lychee, and he predicted my Chincho to be bulky, which would fit on this team, but I like the novelty of 2 Scarfs way too much, and so that Scarf was able to nab me a surprise kill. However, unfortunately, he is going to go into his Snivy right here, which is a huge threat for my team. I can take it on, but nothing really wants to take a Leaf Storm, and so we can just go ahead and resume the battle right here, as I am just going to go into my Mienfu right here as he goes for the sub, which is unfortunate because that immediately tells me that he is sub Glare Leaf Storm, which is annoying to say the least, as I go for the Drain Punch just to break his sub, as he is going to hit me with the Glare, and it kind of sucks, but it's not really that big of a deal because Mienfu's bulk is what I need right now. So right here, I am just going to go for the U-turn on the predicted whatever, just to break his sub if he wants to go for it. I know I could take a Leaf Storm regardless, as I am able to break through Para, go for the U-turn, and then go right into my Fletchling and just start wrecking some stuff. I believe that Scrub will be 2-code by the acrobatics as he goes into his Hippopotamus. I could have set up, but I just wanted that threat of the Snivy out of the way. As I go for acrobatics, that is an easy 2-co on the Hippopotamus, so I'm just going to go for that right again to knock it out. And I don't know what he's going to go into right here, but I do plan on just leaving Fletchling in to hit as much as possible and to get off as much damage to weaken his team so Aber can clean up as he goes into Drillbur right here. Again, I just want damage off because I have priority in Fake Out and Sucker Punch on Diglett and Mienfoo. So I'm just going to go for it right here. As he goes to the Earthquake, it does not affect my fletchling, and this is pretty much the game right here. I have the damage I need. All I need to do is just not choke and play as safely as possible. So I'm just going to go for the Acrobatics again, as I know the switch to Poniard is kind of obvious, but I wasn't playing games. I just wanted to go straight for the Acrobatics. And right here, I am predicting either the Sucker Punch or the Pursuit, but Fletchling has done enough. But if I could save it, why not? But Fletchling does go down right here to the Pursuit, meaning that I get a free switch into Abra, and Abra can pretty much clean up if I don't want to risk anything. And because I was playing it safe, I'm going into my Mienfoo because that definitely looks like a Scarfed Poniard with Pursuit. So I'm just going to go for the U-turn right here, not going for Drain Punch because he would not stay in with a Poniard on a Mienfoo, especially one that is Scarfed. And so, like I said, I could go under Abra right here and clean up. I don't want to risk that, however. I want to get some prior damage off on this Scrub with Diglett, as I will be able to trap it. I won't KO it because Diglett is really weak. It's fast, but weak. And now that the Scrub has that damage on it, Abra just comes in and absolutely cleans up everything. I have a Focus Sash, so even if the Poniard is Scarfed, which I'm pretty sure it is, it will not be able to KO me, as Energy Ball does KO the Abra. I went for Energy Ball over Psychic right there just in case he decided to bring in Poniard, which, I don't know. Wasn't really the play to make, but who cares? Yeah. He goes for Pursuit right here, revealing that he is Scarfed. I live with my Focus Sash, just go for HP Fighting, and Poniard is dead, and Abra will be able to outspeed and KO the Drillbur and Snivy, and pretty much clean up. So, going into this battle, I was really worried because I knew my opponent was good. I saw on the ladder that he was very, very good, and I hadn't gotten a chance to really do much in the Oris metagame with my little cup team. But luckily, the team is able to come through once again, and I'm able to pick up off of Joseph slacking off in that first game and tie it up at 2-2. I'm really hoping we can finish off this war early because I don't want to have to rely on Jolt. Like that's just got bad news written all over it.
No, this is a really good clan we're against, so it's definitely nice to be keeping it close this early in the war. So that wraps up Game 4, and now we will move on to Togavor's game in NU against Queen of Love Discs, which is, I think, one of the best NU players right now. So.
I've beaten him, and it is on my Styx versus the top of the ladder, just saying.
Oh, well. Well, maybe we have a chance, but let's go ahead and move on to that game. Alright, so here we are with Game 5. This is our NU match featuring Togavor against Queen of Love Discs. And quite frankly, I know very little about NU, so Styx is joining me here again, and as is my friend Joseph. So go ahead and say hello, and I'll kind of let you guys take over from here.
Hello.
Yeah, that's right, Jolt. Shut up. You don't know anything about NU.
No, it's true. I really know nothing about NU.
Hi.
Fletch is a good mon. That's all I know.
Yeah, Joseph, you want to start off?
Alright. So what did I say again?
Anything.
Alright,
just
team
talk,
preview.
Something.
Team preview. Togavor has nothing for Lantern. And
Thank you for taking exactly what I was going to say. But,
yeah. So basically,
okay, Joseph, you're done. Anyway, so yeah, Togavor really has nothing for Lantern. I mean, he kind of has Sock, which would do work against QL's team, except for the Yuxi and the most likely Rocky Helmet Garbodor, which is kind of a hard counter to Sock. He has to make some really darn good predictions with like Knockoff and Earthquake in order to take those out. However, if he can manage to take out the Lantern, then a most likely Life Orb Samurott looking at his team will be able to come through. Magneton, the most broken mon in NU right now, is being suspected, will probably get banned. Does absolutely nothing in this match. It's pretty much dead weight due to the Torterra and the Lantern, in addition to Fletchinder. So Toj will be fighting an uphill battle this entire time, maybe depending on his Mesprit set. Most likely it looks offensive, but it could be a rocker, and then could have an interesting Archeop set. But let's just go ahead and jump right into the battle. Leads to Torterra, obviously getting up rocks as it leads to Samurott. Really good prediction on Toge's part. However, he can predict all he wants with Samurott. It's not going to do much because QOL just has the Lantern, and that Ice Beam must have tasted absolutely delicious because that did literally 0. As Toge makes a nice prediction, goes in the Magneton, but what can Magneton do to Lantern really at all? That does actually 0. As goes to Scald, gets first turn burn, little unfortunate, but really Magneton was dead weight. That doesn't much matter at all. As he reveals most likely HP Grass. I don't think it's HP Ground, as QL goes for the Toxic. No real need to predict or do anything right there. As Magneton couldn't do anything. Goes to Protect right there, gets some damage off on the what was it just out of the Magneton, right? As the Mesprit comes in, goes for Stealth Rock, and QOL's just kind of crippling Toge's entire team with that Lantern, just getting statuses off on everything, as Toge really can't do much at all.
Do you think it would have been a good idea for Toge to leave the Magneton in and just do as much damage as possible to the Lantern? I feel like that could have helped out. I guess Magneton is kind of needed for the Fletch, but I don't know.
I mean, Magneton's like a last-ditch check to the Fletch, but I mean, it really wasn't going to do anything, and at that point, Toge should have just, like, gotten up rocks and gotten up spikes. Like, I see what he's trying to do right here, just try to get all of his stuff set up on the Lantern, but he really couldn't do much to it, and Sock is going to come in and do a crap load of damage to it regardless if QOL keeps it in, so the damage I don't think would have mattered that much.
Okay.
Yeah. So, goes to the knockoff again, gets rid of the Torterra's leftovers, which can be kind of nice, but in all likelihood, no. As gonna go into his Archeops, I guess, predicting the rocks, which good play, and we'll see what type of Archeops this is. Looks like it's that's definitely no item completely offensive, as that's a huge threat. As Kabutops comes back in, Aqua Jet will knock it down into Defeatist, which destroys basically anything this Archeops is going to do. Yeah, it's a defog set. I thought that's what it would be, as Rapid Spin and Archeops, while it could have done some damage, it's now just dead weight. Like, it's gone. Well, it's dead now, but it was dead weight as soon as it got into Defeatist. Ton comes back in. Again, free switch into Lantern. Like, I mean, that's a super effective attack boosted by Analytic, and it just does 37%. Like, you can't do much to this Lantern at all, as a Magneton will be whittled down. It's most likely choiced. I don't know the calc off the top of my head, as it will go down to whatever, as it's not choiced. Okay, it's just Eviolite. And Garbodor even takes that hit well, so I mean, it's QOL just had a really, really tight defensive core that gave Toge all kinds of problems. As Flesh comes in, and now Toge has nothing for it. Gets off a nice amount of damage with Zen Headbutt to where Fletch cannot recover, and Toge will just take it out with Zen Headbutt. So, I mean, it's looking decently, but QOL still has his defensive core intact, relatively good health, as it's revealed that this is most likely a sub-CM Uxie, which is way, way too dangerous and can just sweep teams. I believe it's actually Timid. I think that's what you run on it, as Magneton gets one last hit off, does literally 0, and it will go down to the burn. As Sock comes in, however, QOL has a free switch into Garbodor to get Rocky Helmet damage off. As Toge goes for the knockoff, I think that was a misplay. I think he should have gone for the Earthquake, predicting that, because if he had gotten that right, then Garbodor would have just gone down. I mean, unless he didn't have Earthquake.
I'm not sure if he has Earthquake. I know this is a taunt Sock. I'm not sure what his third move was. Ice Punch, there you go.
Right,
so he did not have Earthquake.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't know Toge's obsession with taunt. I mean, it's nice. I'm not gonna knock that, but it's not great, to say the least, as Fletch is just gonna get just destroyed by, gone, forever, dead, Gonzo, anything you want to say. Shut up, Jolt.
Sorry.
You have nothing to contribute.
I don't have anything to contribute, actually.
Samrock comes in, and
Still
Lantern
is.
is going to get, super effective Life Orb, most likely Modest. Could be running Timid, but most likely Modest Grass Knot. and Lantern lives. I mean, that's...
How heavy is Lantern, though? Not very heavy, I assume.
It's not very heavy, but I mean, that's still like a super effective Life Orb hit.
Yeah.
And Lantern gets a double protect. I think, was this where he got a triple protect or something? It was.
Yeah, it was something stupid
It was
like
just
that.
like, well, it was like the game was already over, but it was just, yeah, there you go, triple protect. It was just like salt in the wound. It's like, oh, you have a cut. Here, let me open that. Pour some salt, mix in some vinegar, just stir, preheat the oven for 350 degrees, and then serve over a bed of rice. As a crit, but I mean, game's over. There's nothing Toj can do at all. Sock is going to get destroyed by Kabutop's Aquajet, and unfortunate turn of events, but Toj has had a really, really bad matchup in this one.
Yeah, but he held his own though. He's a good player,
Yeah.
and he was against a really good player too. So,
I beat QOL.
well,
What?
aren't you special? Anyway, this moves the score to a 2-3 deficit for F.E.A.R, and next we will move on to my friend Googly's match, which is an
It is
OU
looking
match.
even more like.
Go
It is
ahead.
now looking that we'll even more likely have to rely on Jolt. So we're screwed, folks. We're really screwed.
I'll do my best. And Googly is against Analytics, so let me go ahead and pause and I'll transition over. Alright, so here we are with Game 6 featuring Googly against Analytic, and I'm actually going to be able to contribute a little bit more this time as this is an OU match, but again joining me is Styx and Joseph. And
Whoa.
thanks, man. Alright, so talking about team preview a little bit. Googly
Okay,
is
may I
Mudkip Slayer.
start? May I start?
You may.
So the first thing I notice is that this is pretty much a forfeit win for F.E.A.R because the opponent has a Landorus Eye, which is banned. So I mean, yeah, we win by forfeit. That's all there is to say.
Obviously, that's not actually the case, as Landorus Eye was just banned today, I believe. But, anyways, looking at team preview, Googly has a pretty fantastic matchup, as Analytic brought Sand, and Googly has potentially a Sand Force Hippo and a Drizzle Polytoad. So
I swear he didn't counter team.
he didn't counter team though. He's definitely not that kind of guy. So to all you who think he
Well,
did counter team, you're quite
Also,
frankly
that's
wrong.
kind of a very googly thing to do.
No, it is.
Just be like, what? Does that even fit on the team? Oh, well, crap. I guess it does.
I think
Dang
he
it.
said he wanted something for Zard Y, so we added the Polytoad, and okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I really don't like. I don't know. I guess Altaria kind of handles Zard, but
Also, it's a
still.
last-ditch check to like drill.
No, it is. It is. It's like it's not too crazy. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump into the game. I have it on fast. I want it on normal, and yeah, we'll just kind of see what happens here.
It's not too crazy. It's just googly.
It's just googly. You're right.
Ooh.
So he gets
Ooh, I
the
like
lead
that
matchup right, predicting the Manectric, and leads off with probably a Spadef Hippo, and gets up the free rocks, which is pretty nice. As Analytic goes into the Tangrowth, and that's going to bait in the Altaria, I guess. I'm assuming that's what he is predicting, so he get off the free Mega here.
Yeah.
Probably just gonna eat up this
There's-
HP Ice if he wants to go for it, or he just goes straight for the Volt Switch, which was the better play, as HP Ice would have done literally nothing to the Altaria.
Crit matter.
Crit matter, of course it did. And he makes a nice play here. Goes for the Flamethrower, gets a clean critical hit.
Why does he have flamethrower?
Well, if you don't want to miss, use Flamethrower, right?
Yeah, but not everybody is me.
Well, maybe he has some bad luck himself. I don't know. But he bops the Landorus with an HP, with a Hyper Voice, which is definitely nice, as Landorus is indeed Uber.
See, Jolt, this is why we don't let you speak.
I'm sorry. Maybe I should just shut up. You guys can take over.
Yes.
Yo, get predicted.
Hey, there's a
Alright, what's the
Manectric.
target?
There's a there's a green bird. There's Reptar. There's a hippopotamus.
Man, you are so
are
good
you,
at
Are you
this.
guys seeing this?
You are
Yeah.
so good at this. Let me get my mouse off the screen. I'm sorry about that.
Smacks it with an EQ, right in the face.
EQ again? Oh, you went with the
Whirlwind. It's windy. It's windy out
Brings
there.
in that
Brings
Talonflame,
in,
which is pretty nice, as that's
Smog
most
Bird.
likely
No,
a
no.
banded Talonflame.
It is not
why is it
Talonflame.
Talon-
It is Smogbird. Get
oh
it
my
right.
gosh, Smogbird. Oh no, it's not banded. Might be banded. Banded Wisp? Is that a thing? Used to be.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Jolt, you ran Scarf Toxic. You can't talk.
Yeah, you're right. Hey, they're not supposed to know that yet.
Bird. Of course.
Oh, it didn't hurt. Some people have all the luck. It's so lucky. Wait, why are we acting like this is live? This is a replay. Scizor
Oh.
comes in, Tangrowth goes out, Manectric comes in, What's going on? Is this even... Okay, it's the end of the turn. I can't even tell. There is no, like, replay on the side for me to be able to see. Roosting up.
Eats
Jolt,
up that
you can talk now.
flamethrower in the rain. It's kind of nice. I can talk now? Thanks, man. He's going to pull the switch into Hippo, as that is his best answer to Manectric. And he's going to eat up that flamethrower, which is pretty nice, I would
Get a
say.
burn. Oh.
And Analytic really only has one switch in to this thing, and that is the tank
Did
growth.
he whirlwind?
He probably... Oh, no, he wants that. That's fine. Health is good. Health is good. Yeah, if you got the Whirlwind and a Talon Flame, that'd be nice.
He's not real. Like, come on.
You're right. He needs to be more real. Alright, he goes into Torn T, which is probably not too great against this Sand Rush drill. And,
What are you talking about? Defensive Torn T is new
but
meta.
he makes the most godly of plays, stays in on the Rapid Spin, and knocks out the X-Control with the Focus Blast, so...
To be fair, it wasn't like that godly.
It was pretty godly.
It was kind of obvious because...
No, it was.
Well,
it was obvious.
Talon was slow enough to where it would die.
Yeah.
And, like, he needed to get rid of the rocks.
No, I got you, but it's still pretty bold play, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my gosh, Analytic, you're amazing.
No, it's more of a modest play.
I'm a big fan.
Thank you, Styx.
Yeah, Lando is a threat.
He makes another kind of god play and
that...
predicts the HPIs. Goes into Scizor.
No, see, Analytic was predicting the Scizor to come in and went for F.E.A.R, but Showdown
he missed Gen.
set.
He missed Gen. That's what happened.
Yes.
That makes sense. Yeah, he needs to hack a little better.
Yes.
But now he's just going to go straight into Polytoad.
Analytic had the game. Like, it was easy. Like, Analytic had this easy, but just Showdown screwed up his sets. Like, that's what happened.
Alright, well, Polytoad out there, Talonflame has no business staying in.
Please bird.
And Googly's going to go straight for the Scald and fail to get the burn because he's not lucky enough.
This is like Styx luck, but seriously.
Double?
But really.
Did he double? Did he double? Oh, he did.
Is he real?
Hey, it's a good play. It's a good play.
He ain't real.
Now catch this Hurricane. No?
No, miss.
Oh, the sand strikes.
Whatever. Torn T still outspeeds Scarf Tar.
Get predicted.
Get the U-turn. Get the U-turn. Feels good. Feels good.
So that Manectric is slowly getting worn down, and with Hippo being a clean counter to it, it really doesn't look too good for Analytic in this game. But he's still trying to fight through it, which is...
How is Analytic supposed to win?
No, I don't know. Like, SD Talon, maybe?
Do you see a win con?
I don't see a win con, like, even from turn 1.
I'm seeing Magnezone.
Yeah, sure. Magnezone be alright. Oh, this matchup. I think like a Lando, maybe a Calm Mind Lando would have done alright in this game. But
no, because of Torn and Sizz.
And Escarver. Wait, never mind.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Scizor would be able to stop that, but I don't know. Like if there was a win con, that was his only real chance.
Oh my god.
F.E.A.R Megazam. There you go.
Ooh, he's amazing, yo.
And he forfeits there on turn 30, knowing that there's really nothing he can do.
Dude,
so
he had the win.
Of course he did.
What is he doing?
Alright, so after that game, the war is tied at 3-3. We had a pretty fortunate team matchup in this particular game, but Googly did play very well, given what he had. So let's go ahead and move on to the next game.
Unfortunately, it looks like Jolt is going to have to play at some point, and that is not something we want at all.
Okay, so here we are with Game 5, with the score tied at 3-3. We have our friend Phil against Invoker, and team preview looks pretty interesting. It's actually pretty balanced, I think. I don't know, what do you guys think?
I do have to say, though, Phil's looking pretty sad, because he looks like he's got them blues.
In other words, he has a mono blue team in this game, which is pretty cool. We just pointed that out right before starting this narration, so... Go ahead.
Yo.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, definitely.
Invoker, where's my Mega Heracross team?
Got that right.
Like,
yes. This looks like HO versus offensive, very offensive, like, balance,
this
I guess.
team.
I mean, what would you say that Invoker's team style is?
He was like
call it
basically trying to
Bulkio.
counter Mega Bro.
Okay.
If I remember, I built this team with him, I think. Yeah.
Trying to counter Mega Bro?
Yeah, and he's like Encore on Low Bunny, I think.
Who even runs Mega Bro anymore? I like never see it.
I do.
Oh, okay. Alright, let's go ahead and jump into this.
No.
And Phil is on the opposing side as Lord and Savior, and Invoker is obviously on the near side. So he leads off with
get
Lucario
predicted.
against the Kyurem B and gets a nice lead matchup and just bops the Celebi for a close combat, revealing that I believe this is a physically defensive Celebi with the Life Orb damage. I think that's about right.
Gosh,
He just goes for the Iron Tail.
Iron Tail.
Celebi is now very much so weakened, and he goes into Lopunny to scare out the Lucario. An easy switch into Garchomp.
Hold this Iron Tail.
Hold this HJK. And Garchomp reveals the Rocky Helmet and dies to the following Ice Punch, which is a little bit unfortunate, but that was some pretty crucial damage against Lopunny, as now I believe it is in range of the Adamant Bullet Punch for Mega Metagross. Correct me if I am wrong on that, but he just goes for the Zen Headbutt.
Wait, why didn't you Meteor Mash? Why didn't Phil Meteor Mash?
I don't know why he didn't Meteor Mash. I don't know who runs Adamant either. I don't run Mega Metagross. But, alright, so he lets the Lucario get burned. That's fun, I guess.
Well, what did he really have? I mean,
no. Thunders, I guess?
Torn and Manaphy need their health.
Yeah, you're right.
As he breaks Man. I don't know.
Yo, burn. Please burn.
Oh, give easy burn. Come on. First turn burn. Give me that. Give me something. Oh, he ain't real.
Just sacks that Lucario.
Man, nobody on F.E.A.R is real. Like, come on now. I'm the only real
Phil
person
is pretty
out here.
real. If anyone's real, it's Phil. Actually, Joseph's pretty real too.
Nah, he ain't real.
Yeah, he is.
Nah, Joseph's just a noob.
Alright, you're right.
I'm kidding. Yo, get
Alright, so he makes a nice play here, predicting the Azumarill goes straight into his Thunderous, and that's just going to be a goodbye, Azumarill.
That's not a real play.
That's
Real
not a real-
player would have gone into Latios.
Right, that's the best play, obviously. He goes for the Thunder Wave on the Lopunny, which kind of seals the deal, in that now he should be able to clean up with Mega Metagross and Manaphy, right? I don't really know if there's anything else he can really do, but yeah, I say Manaphy wrong every time. But anyway, he misses Zen Headbutt against the Lopunny on the first try and takes a lot of damage from the HJK. And now he's going to be scared out by the Talonflame as he goes into his Manaphy on the Will-O-Wisp. And
yeah, just free scalds for everybody.
Burn. Please burn.
Come on.
no, he's real. He goes into Mega Gross.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. We real out here.
Now he's going to bop the
Oh, yeah.
Empoleon with a Meteor Mash and not get the attack boost.
No. Okay. Who doesn't go for Hammer Arm right there?
Well, he's going to go for it on the next turn. Yeah, he probably should have gone for Hammer Arm, actually, on that turn. That would have been the better play. But now, due to that Scald damage and due to the fact that the Zen Headbutt missed earlier, he's now in range of Talonflame's Brave Bird,
Did he
and
Zen? Oh my
he
god,
has lost his win condition in this game. So now he's kind
No,
of...
he can still win with CM Lottie.
Yeah, he's still.
You're right. You're right. He
Coming
still
up,
can.
he has a really good. He has a really good chance to win. Okay, once. No, whatever. Okay, we'll just let this play out for a little bit. But yeah, Manaphy comes in, gets Brave Birded, and now Kyurem just comes in, eats up, gets a burn, Oh, must be
Phil, you're amazing.
must be nice. Must be nice. All these luckers out
Lucky
here.
and bad. Oh my gosh.
What? I guess he went. Yeah. I mean, like, this is obviously going to result in the double down. Hey, Jolt, do you mind pausing it at this double down?
Yes,
Like when it's empty
I do
screen?
mind.
Okay, pause it right now. Okay, what would you guys send in right
Got it.
now? What would you guys send in right now?
What
If you
percent
were
is the
Phil, what would you send in
Empoleon?
right now?
What percent is the Empoleon?
Really low. In range of
Uh-oh.
like Draco or Psyshock.
Lottie.
Yeah, definitely Lottie.
Yeah, exactly.
I shock all the
Yeah,
things.
like I think he definitely choked right here because he had Lottie in. Lottie would have won.
Wow, yeah,
And yeah,
definitely.
as I was watching this battle, I was like, oh, he's got it. Send in Lottie. Oh no, he choked. Because all he had to do was like Draco right there, and then whatever died. Like if Empoleon died, switch out to Talon, or switch out to Metagross, sack to Talon, and then bring Lottie back
Do
in.
you think Draco or Psyshock
had-
even?
Had it?
Did Psyshock KO Empoleon from him? I think so.
Yes, maybe, but I think it was physically defending on that we find out later.
Uh-oh.
Like really weird set, or just weak Psyshock, and I'm
Well,
underestimating Empoleon. But
Fact remains that he went into Metagross here, and now he's forced to deal with it as Invoker goes into Talonflame, And that's a dead Metagross, and that's gonna wrap up this game, unfortunately. As now he's going to go into his Lottie, and he cannot KO with Psyshock.
Miss.
And that's a Will-O-Wisp. And now this Lottie is going to be getting worn down, as the Talonflame is going to switch out into the Empoleon, just trying to rack up the Life Orb damage. And
See, that's what I'm
Psyshock
saying.
actually doesn't kill. Wow. Alright, so yeah, he would have had to go for Draco, but I don't know. I don't know if I would have predicted a physically defensive Empoleon on this team.
Yeah, but I mean, either way, like the play would have been to go into Latios
No, I agree.
on that double then.
Yeah.
Just because, I mean, you get a free Draco and then you kill something.
See, he had Calm Mind. He could have won. But
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh well, I
Yeah,
mean,
he would have needed another Calm Mind, though,
unfortunate-
to survive the Flash Cannon burn
Yeah.
damage.
well, and also you got the Flash Cannon drop immediately.
no, if you like
yeah,
Calm
that
Mind,
sucks.
if you Calm Mind on the burn, and then spam your Psyshock, I think he would have won.
Yeah. So he had
Yeah.
a lot of chances to win
Oh,
there
well.
at the end, but chokes will be chokes, hacks will be hacks. What can you do? So with that game done
The
here,
worst part about this, though, is that we're gonna have to rely on Jolt.
but first we have to rely on Vic, and that's our next
We're gonna have to
battle.
rely on Jolt. Like, this is horrible.
Yeah. So we're now down 3-4, and now we have a UU match coming up against with Vic against Z-Ben, which I haven't really heard of him before, but I know he's a pretty good player because everyone in this clan is pretty dang good. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into that match. Alright, so here we are with game 8 at this point. Game 8. And we are down 3-4 as I said before, and yeah, so here we are with Vic against Z-Ben. Vic is on the opposing side, Z-Ben is on the near side, and at team preview we have a pretty good matchup for Vic, I would say, as Heliolisk kind of destroys everything. B-Drill too. Yeah, B-Drill is really good too. B-Drill
Yo,
plus Heliolisk is really good in this
I like
match.
how so far in the war, there's no hacks.
No hacks at all? You mean like last match?
Yeah.
Alright, and also Mamoswine could be pretty good if he can, if Vic manages to get rid of Suicune. And yeah, but let's go ahead and jump into this. Another thing Vic needs to be worried about is the Magneton, potentially against the Empoleon if this is a Magnet Pull Magneton, which very much so is a possibility. Let's go ahead and jump in though. Z-Ben leads off with Crocodile as Vic leads off with Beedrill, which might be okay unless this Crocodile has Pursuit, and it turns out after Vic goes for the U-turn that this Crocodile does have Pursuit, so that really sucks for Vic, as now he's down 6-5 early. He has a good amount of damage on the Crocodile, but losing Beedrill this early is definitely going to be a little bit painful. Here Vic just
I like his
goes...
nicknames.
Go ahead, what?
I like his nicknames.
Yeah, he named that Mamoswine after my mother, and that's very, very hurtful, Vic. I'm gonna have to talk to you about that,
God
but
damn it, Vic.
I know, right? Here, we got a little bit of Volt Switch shenanigans against the Florges, as he's going to Volt Switch into his Life Orb Mamoswine and take 55% from this Moonblast, which I guess that's an okay play, although he could have gone into Empoleon and gotten Rocks there, if that's his rocker.
You know, it'd be really nice against that Florges.
What? Beedrill?
Mega Beedrill. God damn it, Vic.
So here he just goes for the Icicle Spear, and that's an easy switch into Suicune. He does have Freeze Dry, so I'm not sure why he didn't just go for that originally, as that would have been a lot of damage
God
on the
damn it,
Coon.
Vic.
But to each their own, and Mamoswine goes down to the Suicune. So here, Vic goes into his really only win condition remaining, and that is the Heliolisk, as Z-Ben just goes into his Crocodile and dies to the Hyper Voice. So that's a good prediction. We got him on out of the way, and now Z-Ben brings in the Florges, which obviously...
It's actually worth... It's worth noting that the Mega Pidgeot, while it does have a higher base speed than Heliolisk, Mega Pidgeot only runs Modest in UU, except if you're trying to be cheeky and run Timid. It needs the power, and so Heliolisk does outspeed, even if it's not Scarfed. So, worth noting, something to keep in mind.
Okay. And Z-Ben does make a nice play against the Empoleon. I believe he doubled into the Magneton, predicting the Empoleon switch in or something along those lines. And the Empoleon is going to be trapped and removed by a Thunderbolt. So that's another Mon down for Vic, which is not too good. But he does still have this Porygon too. And if you look
God
at
damn it,
Z-Ben's
Vic.
team, he really doesn't have much that can take this out. He's going to need some hacks of some sort to take this thing out, and as long as Vic can avoid the hacks bug, he's going to be okay in this game. He just keeps spamming Thunderbolts against the Porygon 2, and this is going to be kind of a stally segment, so I don't know if you guys have anything you want to say, but that's kind of what's going to be happening here for a little while.
I have something to say.
Go ahead.
God damn it, Vic. Carry on.
Carry on. Okay, well, eventually, finally, the Thunderbolt does paralyze the Porygon 2, but on the same turn, Vic gets a crit freeze against the Magneton, which actually is really big, as it was going to be a little bit of a task to take out the Magneton, as that was a pretty good answer to the, at least a decent answer to the Specs Heliolisk, and obviously to the Porygon 2's offenses as well. But Vic is able to take out the Magneton, courtesy of the freeze, with a couple more Ice Beams. And now Z-Ben goes into the Florges and starts setting up Calm Minds, which is probably a little bit scary, but I don't really know what all Vic can do. I guess he has Toxic, so that's nice. He's able to get that up on the Florges, and assuming this is not a Calm Mind Heal Bell variant, which is really unlikely.
You know, it would still be nice for Florges.
I believe Mega Beedrill would. Here Vic
Wait,
decides to go, huh?
Didn't Vic have a Mega Beedrill on his team?
I think he did, but it died turn 1 if I remember right. Which is a little bit unfortunate. But here he makes the good play and goes into his Suicune to out Calm Mind War the Florges, as Suicune does have pressure. It is going to win the Calm Mind War against Florges every day of the week. Not to mention there is a Toxic on Florges right now, and Vic has access to Rest and Sleep Talk. So he's definitely going to win this match up, and Z-Ben knows this and is just going to go into his Amoonguss. No doubt just going for the Clear Smog, as he does not want to deal with a Suicune at +1, +2, plus anything.
Amoonguss is AIDS, don't use it.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with
mushroom.
that. It is a pretty stupid mushroom, but it is effective in this scenario, as it's able to get rid of the boosts on Suicune. And Vic just goes into his Porygon 2 as a pretty safe switch in to the Amoonguss, noting that the Porygon 2 is paralyzed and can't be put to sleep due to Spore. So that's
paralyzed?
Paralyzed. And Vic just goes for the Discharge, gets the paralysis on Coon, and then the full para. And then he's going to be able to, I believe, take out the Coon. No, he's slower. That's fine. He's paralyzed. And Suicune's going to go for the rest. So this is kind of a, I don't know, kind of a long, even a boring game, I would say. Not much really is going on here in these middle turns.
I am very much bored right now.
Well, I'm gonna have to agree with that. Sounds like Joseph is too, because he's not saying anything. How you doing over there, Joseph?
Joseph went to go eat some food.
Oh, of course he did. That's cool. That explains why I'm talking. Oh, hi.
So what's going on?
Not a whole lot, really. It's just kind of a bunch of switching shenanigans. There's two Suicunes on the field, both at pretty much full health, I think, and both.
What turn we at?
So much fun to watch.
Man, this is great, isn't it?
What
Really,
turn
we're
is
just, it's turn 32. We're just kind of waiting on the Heliolisk to enter and do some damage. He goes for the Hyper Voice on the Amoonguss and gets the crit, which is really big, as Amoonguss goes for the Giga Drain. And now Heliolisk is a huge win condition in this game, because really he can just spam Hyper Voice and take out the remainder of Z-Ben's Mons, I believe. He might want to switch it up for an electric attack against the Pidgeot, but otherwise Hyper Voice does clean this up. So Vic is in a really good position after that crit. He takes out the Florges, and Z-Ben goes into his Pidgeot, trying to scare Vic out, maybe on the potential that he is.
Why? Why would you switch out Hurricane? Can't do anything to Helio.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I think Heat Wave would have done a lot due to Dry Skin, right? Wouldn't that KO if it was faster? But yeah, that.
Not sure though.
I'm not sure either, but I'm just saying, like, I can understand why he switched out, but he did have the game wrapped up if he just kind of went for it, because really his only way to win.
What turn are we at again?
We're on turn 36. His only way to win, in my eyes, was to sweep with Heliolisk. I don't think he was going to be able to beat Amoonguss with Suicune and Porygon 2. So he had to do something with Heliolisk to win. So if he just got himself in the correct position with Heliolisk anywhere around these next few turns, he would have been able to pull out the game.
Yeah, I completely agree. Heliolisk's Hyper Voice, I think, cleans up.
I think so too. I don't know the calc against Pidgeot, but Specs Hyper Voice off pretty respectable special attack. It would have done a lot of damage.
Yeah. And unfortunately, all of Pidgeot's real boosts from Mega went into special attack and speed.
Yeah.
So it didn't have much that could go into bulk.
And really, like, any time Vic predicted the Suicune to come in, that was a free switch into Heliolisk. Like, there was no risk whatsoever. So, like, you don't even have to wait for him to go into Suicune. You can just go in, like, just switch it in kind of recklessly even, because what can Z-Ben do? As long as Pidgeot is not on the field, what can Z-Ben do to Heliolisk?
Exactly. Anyway,
So
what
we're just
turn do we
kinda-
get to?
We're on turn 42 now, and it's...
This is so much fun. I am enjoying.
It really is.
I am enjoying this.
It's a very long game. I'm gonna speed it up a little bit as well, just to kind of get these turns moving a little bit. But yeah, Z-Ben does just go for the Spore with Amoonguss, trying to catch the Heliolisk. But at this point, Vic has allowed Z-Ben to get pretty much all of his health back with Amoonguss, and that's kind of bad because now it's not in KO range of the Hyper Voice. And that kind of eliminates the immediate win condition, but there's still a chance he could still get another crit or something. He could still make a play on perhaps the Suicune, and yeah, there's still plenty of opportunities for something to happen, but it's not looking too great at this point, as Vic does get a little impatient, just goes for the Hyper Voice on the Amoonguss, and he gets a full para, so now he's again in a pretty good situation, but the Suicune comes in, also gets crit, and yeah. It didn't matter, no. But Suicune goes down to the next Hyper Voice. Z-Ben goes into Pidgeot. Vic is again scared out, but right there was where he definitely needed to go for the attack. That was his only way to win. He should have gone for it right there. But
well, because also the Pidgeot, because it had gone for Hurricane before and not for Heat Wave, like that should have told Vic right there that Heliolisk, like the Mega Pidgeot had nothing for Heliolisk.
Well, there's that, and the fact that the Pidgeot had already attacked something, so if he just pulled up a calc, he could have seen what the nature was on the Pidgeot. And if you know that's a modest Pidgeot, then you know that you're going to get bopped by Heliolisk. So, I don't know. There's a few things I don't agree with in this match, but it happens, I guess. And it's revealed here that Heliolisk is able to outspeed and KO the Pidgeot, but it is too late as Amoonguss does not get fully parried here, and he's able to put the Heliolisk to sleep, and all Z-Ben has to hope for at this point is that he does not
Wait, hold up.
Holding.
Did Vic... Okay, turn 57. Vic slept talked, and it failed because he woke up.
Yeah, I just kind of ignored that. But
I'm out. Bye. Gone.
Yeah, that did happen, and that's obviously a misplay, but I mean, not a whole lot you can do about it at this point. But because Vic is not able to wake up on the first turn the first available turn with Heliolisk, he does go down to the Giga Drain, and as a result, Z-Ben wins the game. So now we are at a 3-5 deficit, which is a little bit tougher to overcome as this is a best of 13 series, so first to 7 wins, so we can only lose 2 more games.
Vic, I still love you.
I still love you too, Vic, but we do have to win, I believe, 3 more games to pull it out, and we can only lose 2 more, so the next few games are obviously very crucial. And our next game is going to be another UU match featuring Cheeseboy against Arafine. Arafine is one of those ladder gods, I guess, that's always at the top of the UU ladder. So it's going to be a fun game. Cheeseboy is obviously a very good player as well. Let's go ahead and jump into that one. Alright, and here we are with Game 9, a UU match featuring Cheeseboy628 against Arafine, both very good UU players. Cheeseboy is actually joining me in the call, so he can go ahead and introduce himself now.
Yo guys, what's up? Disgusting. What do you mean? Like, give your Instagram or your Twitter?
My name is in fact River. I really like the extra consonants. Yeah, it's like river, but with the extra because I'm fierce. No, but I am indeed Cheeseboy628. So yeah, you shameless plug. It's okay. We're ready. Let's go.
All right, you can go ahead and talk about team preview a little bit if you want to, or I can just jump in. It's up to you.
Alright, yeah, I'll do a little bit. Okay, so basically I've got a defensive core of Mandiboos and Florgus, They're pretty strong core together. I needed a defogger and Mandibu's being, I call it Mandibu's because it's fun. Anyway, it's a nice physical wall, and the fact that it's kind of jumping down at this point, I thought I had to abuse it, as well as good old Mamo here. It is sashed. Most people run Life Orb, so it's pretty nice to trick people. Plus, I mean, the ice, plus people not expecting there being a sasher when things are like setting up like crazy. It's nice. We got Driggle Draggle, the Drigalogy. It just specs, it hits hard. I needed to set up Mon, so I've got Gator, and I actually have Adamant Max Attack Banded Darmanitan because I hate stall in this tier, so I wanted to obliterate things. Looking at my opponent's team, I mean, he has Mienshao and Sharpedo, and those are honestly my biggest worries. Other than that, Darmanitan kinda runs through everything, except Swampert for a little bit, but once a couple of banded Flare Blitzes come in its way, it's pretty nice. So yeah, that's my thoughts of the team preview.
Alright, let's go ahead and jump on in.
Yeah, so I start out with Darmanitan. He brings up Mienshao. It's not a great lead matchup for me, so that's why I'm going out to Mandibuzz here, just to see potentially what kind of set it is, if it's Scarf, Banded, or Life Orb. He immediately just goes to Swampert, and I'm like, is he gonna have Ice Beam or like something that's gonna hit me kind of hard? And I'm just like, what? I go for a free Toxic, yeah, and he just goes for Rocks, and I'm like, I'm a defogger. What is happening? I don't understand. So I just go for the free defog, as now he's kind of pressured to Moonblast or Aromatherapy here. So I'm like, this is kind of a really free switch to Darmanitan, even if he decides to Moonblast. And so he does. So his main switch in, Swampert, is poisoned, and I have no reason not to press Flare Blitz here. Like, something guaranteed dies or gets to it KO'd, except maybe Swampert by a little bit, which you'll see. Yeah, you'll see with just barely. I'll probably live with like 3% if I stay in, if I go for another Flare Blitz. So I don't want that. Just gonna go back into my Mandibuzz, because I mean, there's no reason not to. And so, yeah, this is just really good for me because he doesn't get the burn, and at this point a Flare Blitz will knock him out. But yeah, I'm free to knock off here. I don't know about his switch here. His lose in recovery is not the greatest sitch. I guess he doesn't have Toxic or something on Swampert. But yeah, I'm pretty much free to go back into Darmanitan, even though it's kind of making me lose a good bit of health if he goes for Moonblast here. I'm kind of fine with that. It'll get another kill on something. But I don't know, Aromatherapy wasn't necessarily the best play because, I mean, something gets to a KO'd here, as the Aromatherapy, as you can tell here, doesn't help him by any means. So Flare Blitz just takes him out. We still have got Darmanitan that's going to take out 3/5 of his team if need be. But he does bring in Mienshao. That was his best play, and I just want to see what he locks himself into, because at this point I don't think Mandibuzz is in a good range to take high jump kicks. But yeah, it was a 50-50 here about where I go into, whether it's Mamo or Drigalogy, I think. So I just go for the Sludge Wave versus Draco. He knew that Florges was too obvious. But yeah, we got Mandibuzz versus Mienshao once again. He goes for the high jump kick. As you can tell, it's not a 2-hit KO, barely. But I can go for the knockoff here. I don't know if that's really my best play. Other way, I get off his Rocks, so that way get off his Scarf, so that way if I set up even with +1 with Gator, I should be able to sweep most of his team. He goes for the knockoff, decent play at least. Yeah, I can just keep Roost stalling, it's not really too much of an issue. I'm kind of free to Toxic here, I think that's what I go for as he U-turns, and to his Florges, yeah. So it's really a nice situation for me here because he's kind of pressured to Aromatherapy, but he also kind of wants the Moonblast. Either way, Gator's kind of a good switch. So yeah, he goes for the Aromatherapy, and I'm kind of free to DD here. So I'm going to do that. Moonblast is not going to be able to KO me, barely. Either way, it doesn't matter because Life Orb plus Sheer Force is a god. And so I'll just freely go for the Waterfall here, and I can take out that Gligar, which is kind of great. Get out that physical wall.
I just have a question. Dennis interrupt for a second. Can you pause?
Yeah.
I have a question. On the play, why didn't you had sub? So why didn't you sub predicting him to sack Gligar? Because there's no way he was gonna let Florges die, considering that Mandibuzz is gonna win the entire game for him.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, that's a good question. Because I guess I wasn't really thinking in that standpoint of like a physical wall being my game winner. I don't know. I also didn't really know what his Reuniclus was running at this point. Yeah, I mean, if I subbed and he went for Moonblast for some reason, if he was like trying to prevent me from setting up, then that would be why. Because I mean,
like,
if I do set
technically
up...
speaking, you you literally lost nothing because, I mean, if you Moonblast, you're just gonna be you're already in range where you die from anything he sends at you.
Yeah.
And you already kill it in the process, so you really kind of lost nothing for something.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, the only thing was me probably not really factoring the Reuniclus, whatever it could potentially have, and just like Mandibuzz, not me considering it my win condition. Either way, yeah, so I go for the, as you can tell, I do have the sub now, which is, you know, it's a very 50-50 here, although at the same time I don't know if a +1 Life Orb Sheer Force Waterfall would have killed Sharpedo anyway. Either way, he makes the great play of crunching. It was his best play. Gets a crit here. Really doubt it mattered. And yeah, he's at +2 speed. He's going to outspeed anything on my team. I'm bringing in Florges because I know I'll be able to OHKO it. And he knows this as well, as he can go into his Reuniclus. So this is kind of an interesting situation. I think he said it was AV. Because there's a couple of really interesting things here. Number one, he has Future Sight. Number two, you're going to see that he has Regenerator. So first I'm going to go for the Toxic because I don't think I realized at this time that his Reuniclus was Regenerator, but either way it kind of worked out for me. He goes for the Moonblast, he gets a crit. I do have to stay in though because of this Future Sight. I think Future Sight's getting more popular nowadays. It's kind of interesting because it really does play in a lot of mind games.
That was Styx, by the way.
Oh, it was Specs. Okay, that makes sense. Alright, it's lagging out a little bit on me right now, but I do see the Florges versus Forgus matchup right now, because I really have no reason to play aggressively at this point. But yeah, I do get the special attack drop. You're going to see, I'm going to get a good series of hacks at this point on my side. It'll technically balance out later, you'll see. But yeah, he does trick me the choice specs here, so it's kind of an interesting situation where if he keeps going for Future Sight, that's going to be my only switch into it, but at the same time, I'm a choiced physical wall at this point, so things aren't going too swell. But here, I do have Regalgy in, and I'm free to go for a Sludge Wave at this point. I'm feeling pretty nice about that. As he goes to the Moonblast, he does indeed get the special attack drop, and I didn't realize this at the time, but now that's why he has 1%. I don't think I realized I got the special attack drop. I'm like, how in the world did you live? Either way, I guess that was what freaking didn't let that thing die. But yeah, so now he goes back into Reuniclus. I got the special attack drop again, and so it's not doing enough damage. But I need to see more of Reuniclus's move pool in order to see what I can really do about this situation. He goes for a Future Sight again. So I'm going to go to Mandibuzz as it activates 2 turns after, and he goes into Sharpedo. So it's kind of an okay situation for me because his Ice Fang is doing diddly. But I missed the Toxic.
Didn't even freeze. Like, how lucky can you be?
I know. Like, I've got to say, all the hacks is definitely my favorite at this point. No. So go for the Toxic. It actually lands. So his Florges dies. So that's his switch in gone. If need be, I guess I still have Wish support, but I really doubt it's going to be able to happen. You know, he gets a crit here. It's alright. It all balances out, as you can tell, because he didn't get the freeze, so it all balances out. So I get the Toxic off. This is all that Mandibuzz can really do at this point. As with U-turning, I'm able to get off a Toxic on this Reuniclus, which is kind of amazing, because this way I'm able to stall him out with Florges at this point, unless he has Psyshock and gets 8 crits. Speaking of hacks, though, he gets a Spadef drop, which is gosh darn awful. Because this is, gosh, in my live recording, I was just like, can this get a little bit worse, please? Here, I think my best play was to Moonblast, because I'm able to take him out, and he knows that the rest of his Mons are going to go down to a Moonblast, and here it's pretty much set up perfectly for me, because I'm able to sack Mandibuzz off to this Future Sight and or like what he's going to hit me with the Waterfall or whatnot, because that way nothing else has to take that friggin' Future Sight. Here it gets even more interesting in case F.E.A.R wasn't a little bit too much of a lucker, because I'm like, alright, we're gonna protect, we need as much health as possible. If he crits me, that could be a bit of a problem, but nonetheless I'm like, I hit the Moonblast here, don't get flinched, we're good. He goes for Waterfall, and lo and behold, you know, he's got flinched, because, I mean, why not?
Let me just say, before you continue, like, these next series of plays are very good on your part. Like, this is, like, some pro plays you made. Some very good job.
Thank you. Yeah, what I'm kind of seeing here is my win conditions are the combination of Florges and Mammo. I've got to protect here because I realize that if I get one more protect safely when I come back in again after sacking off Dragalge, that I'll have enough to survive the next waterfall. So that's kind of my game plan at this point because, I mean, I don't really have a ton of other options as well, to be honest, at this point. So go for the protect, get enough recovery. As long as he doesn't flinch me, we're good. If he goes to Mienshao for whatever reason, like he has no reason to, it's going to die to a Moonblast. But yeah, I don't get flinched here. It's great. Now, I kind of hacks him out at the end here. It really balances out. It really matters at the end. Just kidding. I have a Sash and Mammo, so there's legitimately no chance of him winning, like, unless I go for Stealth Rock about 80 times. So, yeah, I'm like, you know what? I've been hacks out this entire time. Let's see how many protects I get in a row. And you're going to see that I am actually going to get the triple protect. And F.E.A.R does get kind of upset in the chat because he just like shows the calcs and everything. Like, a life orb man will do this much. I'm like, bro, I'm Sash. He's like, ah, I see. So,
That was
yeah,
the most
that's
obvious stats ever. I was like, he's sad.
right. It's like I was like, I don't know the way I was
no
playing
reason
it.
to get upset. Like, that was obvious stats because that was your rock setter, and it's really rare for you to have life orb rocks. Even though it's not that bad in UU since a lot of things are slow, but that was an obvious stat.
Yeah, so basically that's the game with the Mammo nice and healthy and pretty narrow 1-0. I mean, it was a good battle nonetheless. I didn't know much about F.E.A.R's rep, and then when I did hear afterwards, it's like, oh, well,
It was a pretty good win,
did
I'd
pretty
say.
swell then.
Yeah. So that was...
just... Go on, sorry. Go on.
I was just going to say, that was Game 9, and now we're going to have to move on to Game 10 with the score 4-5. So we are closing the gap, but it's still quite the uphill battle at this point. But go ahead and say what you wanted to say.
I was just wanting to say that I was when I first joined the battle, I was pretty I was not happy because I saw that he literally I was so confused by the team. He had nothing for this. I was just literally confused. And he was telling me that Rinkulus was his Florges counter, but that is not at all a counter in my opinion. Even if your specs are not, like, especially if specs future sight, he didn't just wish it off and all that. So I felt that was pretty poor on his part for bringing a team with nothing for Florges when it's not like it's not a mon that's not common in UU. It's one of the most common mons in UU.
Yeah.
You think UU, you think Florges.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that's all I gotta say.
Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and move on to Game 10, which is actually my game, so that'll be interesting. We'll be right back. Alright, so here we are with Game 10, which is my match against Lukianos, or Statascus, I think is what his name was, and he's a really, really good player, apparently, so I have my hands full in this game. I did decide to bring the team I am most comfortable with, even if it is a little bit outdated, and we'll just kind of see what happens. I'm bringing an offensive Tran, Mega Scizor, a support Sylveon, a Scarf Trick Lottie Rotom, and a Scarf Lando T against a triple legendary dog team with a Mega Aerodactyl, Hippo, and Latios to back it up. So
Why did it have to come to this? Why?
thank you, Styx. So my team matchup is interesting, as I know that Crocune is the biggest threat in this matchup. Absolutely the biggest threat. Mega Aerodactyl is also a threat, but really the rest of his team I'm not terribly worried about, as I have
And
pretty...
by biggest threat, he means he gets completely 6-0'd by Crocune.
I get pretty destroyed by Crocune. Really my only chance against it is to trick it my Choice Scarf from my Latios, so I need to find a way to sneak that in there at some point, and we'll just kind of see what happens. But let's go ahead and jump in. What's up?
That is what he said.
Oh my god, no. Okay. So I lead off with my Landers T, as it is my best lead matchup against his team, predicting either the Aerodactyl or potentially the Hippo lead. If he did choose to lead with Hippo, I can surprise it with a Toxic. But I do just go for the U-turn here, kind of expecting him to expect my Stone Edge, but he makes a nice play and stays in, revealing Ice Fang, just trying to bot me. Probably, maybe expecting me to be a defensive Landers T. It's possible, but unlikely. But regardless, I get my Rotom in, and he's just going to go into his Latios, which is fine, and I'm able to get a little bit more momentum by just going for a Volt Switch. And I go straight back into my Landers T, as this again is a free U-turn, and Latios is able to live the U-turn, which is a-okay with me, as now I'm just going to go in my Heatran to eat up whatever he wants to go for. And
if you were real, you would have knocked off.
I don't have knockoff. So here I switch into my Rotom, just scouting for the Earthquake, as I don't want to lose my Heatran for no reason. Unfortunately, that didn't go quite as planned.
If you were real, you would have flash cannoned.
If I was real, I would have flash cannon. Yeah, you're right. I also probably should have gone into Lander's T on that particular turn, as that would have given me more momentum, and Draco Meteor would have KO'd the
You just got
Rodent
played
anyways.
there.
No, not really. I actually predicted that one to my Lander's T and just went for the Toxic, and I'm able to get a little bit of residual damage going on the Hippo as he just goes for the slag off, probably scouting for HP Ice or something. I'm not really sure what he was expecting me to do. Maybe Explosion. That would make more sense. But here, just going to my Sylveon, as this is a pretty safe switch into whatever he wants to do, and he decides to double into his Aerodactyl, and I'm just going to first protect to kind of see what he wants to go for, as I'm not really scared of this thing, even if it does reveal like Home Claws or something. But the Sandstorm does subside, and also that was another thing I was trying to do, was stall out the Sand turns such that my Hyper Voice does more damage. And here I'm able to scout damage from the Stone Edge, and also able to realize that I can live that pretty handily and get up to basically full health with the Wish.
Yeah, but you got played in the process.
Thank you, Styx. Anyways, he goes into his Entei, which is fine, because I'm expecting this to be a Choice Banded Entei, and I can scout for whatever move he wants to go for, and I'm not worried at all about the Stone Edge. I'm just going to pull the switch into my Landorus Therian as he goes into Suicune, which kind of sucks because now the threat is here, and I get a little bit flustered at this point. I'm going to U-turn and go straight into my Latios, and I'm going to pause here, as this play kind of determines the game, as I can go for a trick right here on the Suicune, and there is the chance that he could go into Raikou, but at this point I'm expecting his Raikou to be a choice variant, so I didn't really think there was much risk in going for the trick on this turn, as I knew there was a relatively high chance that he would switch out here. But even if he did switch out, his switch in would be the Raikou, expecting the Draco, as he has no other Draco switch-ins. But it turns out that he does switch on this turn, which really sucks as I go for the Draco, or go for the trick rather. But he goes into an Assault Vest Raikou, and this is really bad, as now I just tricked myself in Assault Vest. I can no longer defog, I can no longer trick. My Latios is kind of useless at this point, to be honest. Without a Life Orb, I do manage to hit the Aerodactyl on this turn, which is nice. What's up?
So, just curious, why were you convinced that Raikou was choiced?
Because the majority of Raikou's SDR choice. That's really my reasoning behind that.
But looking at his team, like, he had... Otherwise, he had nothing for Gengar. He had no switch-ins to Gengar.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, again,
and also he had...
Go ahead.
Well, so he had speed... He had plenty of speed control, too, already with... Extreme Speed from Entei and then Mega Aerodactyl in itself, and Latios to an extent.
Yeah. No,
So,
I agree. Like,
I
in
feel like-
hindsight, yeah, I see that it's most likely an Assault Vest variant, but, like, at the time, that's what I was thinking. Like, I was thinking that this is going to be a Choice Specs variant to give him a little bit more offensive presence. But
But you know why that bopped you?
why?
You weren't real.
I wasn't really right. But no, what I should have done there was I should have held the Choice Scarf close to my chest and not revealed that. Like, probably expecting the Raikou, I could have either gone for...
Not your chest. Latios' chest.
You're right, you're right. I could have either gone for the Side Shock expecting the Raikou, or I could have pulled a switch into my Sylveon, as Sylveon really did have a pretty good matchup against his team. But unfortunately, I did not make that play, and I lose my Choice Scarf.
Because he ain't real.
I was not real enough, unfortunately, and now it's just going to be a Crocoon sweep, as I can't do jack all to it, so I'm just going to kind of speed through all these turns.
You know what the funny thing is?
Huh?
If you still had your Calm Mind Calm Mind Latios, you would have won.
Yes. You're right.
But you know why? You know why you didn't have it?
Why?
Because you're not real.
Thanks, man. Anyway, that's the game. Unfortunately, I did not come out on top in that matchup. But
See, this is exactly why we did not want it to come down to Jolt.
This is exactly why you're on Clef.
yeah, I am editing the team, actually. I'm working on it, at least. I'm trying to run Unaware Clef, but some other things need to change because just switching in Clef for Sylveon isn't quite solving the problem.
And also, Suicune still beats Unaware Clef, unfortunately.
Yeah. I'm thinking about running Specs Latios with an Unaware Clef and then changing up the Landorus a little bit. So we'll see. I'm working on that right now.
Give the Landorus Thunderbolt.
That would be interesting. I don't think it learns that. Does if it got Bolt Strike, that'd be awesome. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so we're now down 4-6, which sucks because now the next person to lose will lose us the war, which is always a lot of pressure, but then again,
At least Jolt is out of the way.
At least I'm out of the way. Then again, we do have 3 very good players remaining, and we have a relatively decent chance of still pulling this out, but the other team has Telly still, which most of you would know is a very good player. And the other team still has Arc Phantom, which is also a very good player. And
you forgot me.
yeah, I know. And then the other team still has... No, that's it. Oh, the other team still has John XU. So 3 very good players on the opposing side, 3 good players on our side. But let's go ahead and jump in to the next one. Alright, here we are with Game 11, featuring Orocords from F.E.A.R against Archphantom from Caps, and this match very well could determine the war. If Orocords cannot pull out the win, we will lose, but if Orocords wins, we have 2 potential matches remaining, which are King Koopa against Telly, which will be a tough match, obviously, because Telly is Telly, and then we have Let's Get Shaded, arguably our best OU player, against John XU. And so we have a chance. It's an uphill battle, but it has to start here if we're going to make the comeback. So let's go ahead and dive into this battle. Looking at team preview.
There's a freaking Quagsire. What type of AIDS
Oro
is
brought a
that?
Quagsire. So I don't know. This is an interesting team. I assume he's tested it before because Oro is a very good player. But I don't know. This is an interesting team preview. Quite frankly, it doesn't look too good as he's kind of destroyed by Tornadus T, which leads me to believe this might be a pretty old team. Alakazam could be good against Tornadus, yeah, but like it can't switch in on it. So it's only a check, and that's only one check, and he'll have to lose a lot of monsters just trying to get Alakazam in against it. So it's a tough team preview. I don't know. What do you guys have to say about it?
I'm gonna be honest. I kind of want the team the Oro's against. Like I kind of want somebody to pass that to me.
Oh, I got you. Later after.
All right, sweet.
Joseph, do you have like every team? It seems like you do.
Dude, Joseph knows everybody. Like, I can guarantee you, if you asked Obama who OML It's Too Easy is, Obama would be like, yeah, I know that.
Yeah, you have a good point. All right, I'll put this one on fast and just kind of, let's go. So he leads off with Quagsire, and...
Yo. What if we just did not narrate this battle? What if we just talked while the battle went on in the background?
I mean, we can.
There's a bird, there's a mole. All right,
okay,
there you go.
let's at least talk about relevant stuff, but Oro does get his rocks up, which is pretty nice. And Archphantom just
hey, now they both have their
puts
rocks
his
up,
rock up as well. It's pretty cool. In comes Quagsire. He reveals Ice Beam. It does Jack All to the Tornadus T, revealing that that's an Assault Vest Tornadus.
To be fair, he did make a play. It just
didn't help
sucks.
at all. Archphantom predicts the Excadrill, I believe, and goes into his Keldeo, but Oro does have a pretty clean switch into Keldeo and his Celebi. Unfortunately, he has nothing for Tornadus with the Celebi, so he Baton Passes expecting that switch in, and yeah, I don't know. Oro decides to go for Rapid Spin. Garchomp's Rocky Helmet. Yeah, I agree.
Real, he went for EQ.
I think he should have gone for EQ there.
Oh, he ain't real. Oh, man. Nobody's real in F.E.A.R anymore. What is going on?
I mean, Joseph tried to be real game 1 and it backfired, so I think that set a pace for the rest of us.
Well, that's because he wasn't actually real. He was like a fake. He was like a fake real. Like, he wasn't really real.
Alright, Oro does get his Mega up with Alakazam, which is pretty nice, as now he's able to potentially put in a lot of work against Archphantom's team, noting that he is able to outspeed Arian at this point, so he does have a decent check. However, Metagross does reveal Pursuit, and Alakazam is kind of stuck in there.
Oh, yes, he protected. Oro was amazing.
Alright.
Oro needed, like, Focus Sash counter.
But really. Focus Sash counter Alakazam? Mega Alakazam?
Oh, man, he got played. Yeah. It's like a Assault Vest Mega T-Tar.
Can Oro still win?
To be fair, Archphantom doesn't have much for Quagsire, but like Quagsire's still not really a threat, which is kind of unfortunate.
Yo, Archphantom has nothing for talent, yeah.
That too, yeah.
Except for Scarf Drill. That's kind of the problem. Yeah. Oh, look at that damage.
Go for Ice Beam?
Because he's real, man.
I don't know what this Quagsire is though, with Acid Spray and Ice Beam. Is this?
It's gotta be Specs Quagsire.
Yeah, you're right. That must be it.
That can switch up moves.
AV.
Unfortunately, Talon's gonna go down here after the Brave Bird recoil, unless he's real and goes for Flare Blitz, but he doesn't. And Oro's not looking to be in very good shape. as all he has left is the pretty useless Quagsire and a Magnezone that
Gone.
he sacked to the Excadrill. I guess he had to hope it wasn't Scarfed at this point, but it definitely was.
I guess he really was Specs. Oh, never mind.
So I'm still not really sure what that Quagsire is, but it's not going to be
Reveal the HP
standing
grass
up to that
Kyurem.
Kyurem.
Stockpile.
It's 3 attacks with Recover. I don't really know. That's kind of an interesting set. But unfortunately, Auracordz does lose this match, and F.E.A.R loses the war at this point. So that was a fun war. It was a hard war. Hard fought, but we kept it close, and I'm proud of our
You know
guys
what
for
I
that.
blame?
What's up?
You know what I blame?
Who, me?
I
Should blame me.
I blame us putting Jolt in the lineup. I mean, like, that was
You're
your
right,
first
you're right.
mistake. You know you're going to lose if Jolt's in the
Anyway, if you did happen to watch all the way through, that means you're probably pretty interested in the whole clan idea. So if you are interested in maybe trying out for F.E.A.R, definitely just leave a comment to this video.
No, I'm making my own clan. You can join my clan. It's gonna be called Uncensored.
Anyway, other advertisement aside, if you're interested in trying to join F.E.A.R, leave a comment, and Styx or myself or Vic will respond to it, and we'll get you hooked up with a tryout battle and such. So definitely let us know. We are looking especially for people who specialize in lower tiers and in Ubers. And if you happen to be amazing in
Specialize
OU,
in Little
we'll...
Cup, just GTFO, because...
Little Cup is Styx's, so most likely we'll not be accepting anyone in Little Cup, but definitely UU, probably RU as well, and it wouldn't hurt for us to pick up another Ubers or NU players. So if you're interested in
you
any
know
of
what I
those tiers,
noticed?
what's up?
Joel, you know what I noticed?
What?
Every clan war that we've lost, you've been in.
Oh my gosh, that's so true.
See?
You're right. What do you know?
Must be a sign.
You know what else
Oh,
is
really?
pretty interesting, Styx? Every clan war we've lost, you've been in.
Yo, I won. Like, you can't say nothing about me.
Oh, I can.
Nah, you can't. Nah, I mean, you.
You're bad
you
luck,
lost.
man. You're
Yours
bad
was
luck.
One of the deciding. You were one of the deciding factors.
I wasn't the deciding factor.
You were one of
Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I know this is a long video, so thanks for watching all the way through if you did. Anyway, we will see you next time, and I'll make sure to bring you more Clan War videos. Also, leave a like if you enjoyed. That definitely helps me out. Helps me know this is actually entertaining to you guys.
Me?
Huh?
Me?
You?
Me isn't you? You?
What?
I thought this was like a co-op channel. I thought there were multiple of us. This wasn't just about you, Joel.
It helps us out when you do.
Yeah, that's what
All
I
right.
thought.
Thanks for watching, guys. We will see you next time.